Hi guys, welcome to this set of videos. All of these videos are going to follow along with our notes on reflection. Alright, so what we're doing here as we make our way through this chapter is we're going to begin to take a look at transformations. In the previous section, we look at a translation, a change in position. This section, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a reflection. Almost kind of like what would happen if an object were to look at itself in a mirror, okay? As we reflect an object across a line of reflection, we're going to get the mirror image of that object on the other side of the line. Let's go ahead and jump into this, as always, by starting with our essential question. By the time we get to the end of this set of notes in these videos, you should be able to answer the question, how do you draw the image of a figure under a reflection? And to help us answer that question, several things we're going to go through together that you need to learn and you need to be able to do. We're going to call these our objectives. You'll need to be able to identify the coordinates of the vertices of an image. Obviously, you need to be able to graph things on a coordinate plane in order to do this. Students will draw the image of figures using reflection over a given line, and students will find a line of reflection given the image and the pre-image. All right, so first we're going to start off given the vertices, be able to identify the vertices and then make it a reflection. And then we're going to do one where I give you the line of reflection, what would be the image across, when you reflect a pre-image across that line, where would the image be? And then finally, given both the pre-image and the image, you find me the line of reflection. Instead of me giving you the line of reflection, I'll give you the pre-image and the image, you tell me where the line of reflection is. So we'll take a look at all of that together. So let's just jump right into these and first talk quickly about a reflection. And please do think of this like you standing there in the morning, getting ready for school, brushing your teeth, looking at yourself in the mirror. You are looking at a reflection of yourself, a mirror image, all right? We are going to do the exact same thing to the objects here. Now, here's the way that it is going to work. First, let me sketch a little picture for you here because what's written here, again, can seem a little confusing. Sometimes math definitions get a little wordy. It's kind of tough as we are beginning to learn the language of geometry to really understand what's being said. So here's what we've got for you. If you have some point P and a line of reflection, let's say that that is my line of reflection. The image, okay, the image of my point P, which will be P prime, the reflection across this line, right there, P prime. Again, please forgive me, I am freehanding this, so as best I can, hopefully it's really, really close, but here's what all of this is saying to you. First, the distance from my pre-image, from point P to the line of reflection is the same as the distance from the line of reflection to its image, P prime, right? So the distance from each of those points to the line of reflection should be the same. And based on my drawing, just kind of looking at it, I think I got that pretty close. Hopefully those look like they're the same distance from the line of reflection. The second thing that this is saying is this. If you were to draw a line between the pre-image and the image, it will intersect the line of reflection, that line, right? P to P prime, that line segment is going to be perpendicular to my line of reflection, meaning right here. Hopefully that looks like a right angle, all right? They're going to perpendicular, bisect each other at a perpendicular angle, all right? That's going to be really important here when we start doing these problems below. So that's what all of this right here is saying. When you reflect an image, it'll be the same distance from the line of reflection on the opposite side, and when you connect two points, two like points with a line, it'll intersect that line of reflection at a right angle. They're going to be perpendicular to the line of reflection. Here we go. Let me show you how this is going to work. I have given you a pre-image and a line of reflection. Let's go ahead and call that L, and let's go ahead and put our points in here. There's A, B, and C. Now, the way that this is going to work when you do these, I am going to try and get, right, a perpendicular line from A, B, and C to my line of reflection. And I will always make these as easy as possible for you guys. All right, I'll show you what I mean by that in a second, because I need to get A prime, B prime, and C prime the same distance from that line of reflection on the other side. All right, so here we go. Hopefully what it looks like, right, is that B, right, if I were to draw a perpendicular line to the line of reflection, hopefully what it looks like to you guys, you can see that it would be this point right here, right there. That's my perpendicular line, right? Right there, that's gonna be perpendicular, right? My line of reflection, hopefully that green line, it looks like it's perpendicular. It is. Now, all I have to do is figure out how far is B from that line of reflection. Well, all I do is I go 1 unit to the right and 1 unit up. So, do the exact same thing on the opposite side. 1 unit to the right, 1 unit up is going to get me B prime, right? So from B to the line of reflection, there's my perpendicular line, which is 1 unit over, 1 unit up. Do the same thing on the other side. Now let's do it for A. If I were to draw a perpendicular line, hopefully what you can see is that it looks like it should be this line right there, right? Hopefully those look perpendicular to you because they are. Again, figure out, how do I get A to the line of reflection? Well, 1, 2 units to the right, 1, 2 units up. So do the same thing on this side. 2 units to the right, 1, 2, 2 units up, 1, 2. That puts A prime right there. Do the same thing for point C, right? Hopefully it looks like point C, perpendicular line, is going to put it right there. Let me draw that perpendicular line right in there. Ooh, yeah, definitely a perpendicular line. Now, how do I get to that point from C? Well, 1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2 up. 3 right, 2 up. Do the same thing on the other side of the line. 1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2 up. That puts C prime right there. Go ahead, connect those points. And what I've got here is the image, the reflection of my pre-image. All right? Again, perpendicular lines, right? Just go draw a perpendicular line to your line of reflection. Again, when I say I'll always make it easy, hopefully what you're recognizing here is that the line of reflection, right, that perpendicular line and the line of reflection is meeting right at an intersection of my grid, right where my horizontal and vertical lines on the grid, right where they meet, right? That right there is an intersection of horizontal and vertical lines on my grid. That point right there is an intersection of horizontal and vertical lines on my grid. That point right there is an intersection of horizontal and vertical lines on my grid, right? As opposed to, say, this point right here. Right? That point right there is not at an intersection of the horizontal and vertical lines, right? I'm never going to do that to you. I will never ever do that to you when doing these types of problems. Drawing that perpendicular line is always going to bring you to the line of reflection at an intersection of the horizontal and vertical lines on my grid. Let me show you in another example problem. This one right here. I have my line of reflection right there. I have my pre-image, A, B, and C. Now this one's really nice because point B is on the line of reflection. If a point is on the line of reflection, its reflection is itself. Right? If you take your finger and you touch a mirror, right, it looks like your finger is reaching back at you in the mirror, right, and you're touching fingers. Exact same thing here. That B is right on the surface of the mirror, and so its image, its reflection, would be itself. So that's going to be B prime. Now, let's go ahead and find the other ones. And again, remember, I will make them as easy as possible. So it looks like my perpendicular line for C is going to be that point. Hang on. That does not look perpendicular. 1 second, maybe it'll be... perpendicular line right there. Yeah. What about A? What do I have? What does it look like I've got for A? Right about there. Those do look perpendicular to me. Hopefully those look perpendicular to you. Okay, so it looks like in this one, I don't know if maybe when I was doing the notes, I think maybe my line of reflection got off a little bit. Because what it looks like again is this is something that I would not do to you on a test or a quiz or something like that. So we'll still do this one together, but my perpendicular lines are not coming together where my vertical and horizontal graph lines, my grid is meeting, which I wouldn't do to you. That's not fair. So anyway, let's give this one a shot anyway, and hopefully the next one will sort of correlate with what I just told you, that I will always make it as easy as possible. But this example problem is here, so let's do it anyway. It looks like what I've got for this one, to get to my point of intersection, I'm going to be going to the right 2 units, so 2 units to the right, and then down 1, 2, 3, and about a half. So 2 to the right and down 3.5. So let's see. I'm going to go 2 to the right, 1, 2, and down 3.5. There's a half. 1, 2, 3. That's going to put A prime right about there. Okay, C. Well, to get to that guy right there, I'm going 1 unit to the right and then down 1.5. So let's do that again. 1 unit to the right, down 1.5 units, put C prime maybe right about there. Let's see what that guy looks like. There, there, and there. Okay, actually, I feel really good about that. That does look like a reflection of my pre-image across that line of reflection. Again, though, let me say this, that one is way trickier than anything I'll give you on a test or a quiz. I will do my absolute, in fact, if you're taking this class with me and you find one like this on the test or quiz, please raise your hand and let me know, because it made it on there by accident. Let's take a look at another one. And hopefully this one will do what I just told you I would do. Let's see what happens here. I've got my points, A, B, and C. Let's see how this one goes. Okay, it looks like, ooh, yes, right there. Boom, perpendicular line to, oh, that's not a good perpendicular line. Hang on, let me try again. Yes, awesome. So perpendicular line to C is going to be that one right there, which is at the intersection of my horizontal and vertical graph. Awesome, awesome. B, it looks like B, perpendicular line, I like it, to right there, which is the intersection of horizontal and vertical lines. So far, I'm doing pretty good here. And then A, it looks like A, yes, right to there, right, which is the intersection. So this one is a great example. This is typical of what I'm going to give you if you're taking this class with me on a test or a quiz, right? I'm not going to make it tricky. Perpendicular line should go to the intersection of those horizontal and vertical grid lines. So let's go ahead and find the reflection of this image. So C is going to be 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1 up. So 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1 up is going to be C prime. B is going to be 1, 2, 3 to the right and 1 down. 1, 2, 3 to the right and 1 down. B prime. And then A is going to be 1, 2, 3 to the right and 1 down. So 1, 2, 3 to the right and 1 down. Again, I'm counting all of those from right. How do I get to the line of reflection? Do the same thing on the other side of the line of reflection. So it's 1, 2, 3 units to the right, 1 unit down to the line of reflection. So do the same thing. 1, 2, 3 units to the right, 1 unit down from the line of reflection. Let's go ahead and connect those points, and hopefully what we're going to see is a mirror image. Let me erase my perpendicular lines because we got a lot of green going on here. And does it look like I have a reflection? Absolutely it does. I'm very happy with that. In fact, for freehand in that, that's not bad at all. So again, I will make these as simple as I possibly can. Your perpendicular lines to your vertices. Those perpendicular lines should come out at an intersection so that it's easy to count your horizontal and vertical shifts and then do the same thing on the other side. All right, head on over to the next page of the notes. We'll keep taking a look at reflections, but this time given more common lines of reflection and what you'll do with them. I'll meet you guys on the next page.